The high note is a phenomenon the composer will write into the score at some point, often near the end of the musical number or sometimes section. It's the most common operatic daredevil stunt. Hence, the ability to pull it off is always a big plus on the resume of a professional opera singer. Whether the singer specializes in vocal horsepower or another style of opera singing termed as vocal gymnastics makes no difference. When it comes to high notes in vocal gymnastics, we judge a singer's proficiency according to how many high notes they can sing and how high they can go. However, in vocal horsepower, we judge a singer's proficiency according to how strong the high note is, how loud it is, and how long they can hold it. A strong and loud high note has the effect of generating an electric current which surges through the human body or causing a massive infusion of adrenaline into the bloodstream. The stronger it is or the longer it's held, the more powerful the current and the greater the adrenaline. At the same time, as the singer delivers their high note over the thundering orchestra for an extended period of time, the hearts of the audience are frozen in suspense in that duration. It's like a stunt motorcyclist leaping over a fleet of cars. Even as we know the motorcyclist has trained long enough to ensure his bike won't plunge halfway before he's done, we know the singer's trained long enough not to run out of breath halfway. Nevertheless, our hearts unconsciously jump into our mouths as we find ourselves before this death-defying stunt. Upon the completion of the stunt, our hearts succumb to a flurry of acceleration. This is why the high note has always been one of the highlights of the operatic experience. For a human sound to have such impact, that might seem incredible, but it's true. This phenomenon does exist. I've got a good musical example to prove that. It's a special one because this was the earliest musical number to give rise to a strong and loud high note. In the example you'll be hearing, there are 2 points where you hear the singer make his voice go high up into the atmosphere. Those are the high notes the singer is producing. Should you want to know what the singer is singing about, the singer's character is calling his fellow countrymen to pick up their weapons. He's rallying them to rebel against a tyrant who killed his father and locked up his comrade. This will explain why the singer sings so agitatedly. When you heard the singer's high notes, did you feel the electric current or the adrenaline rush? If you did, now you have experienced the phenomenon I was talking about. What you've just heard is the aria sung by the tenor playing the role of Arnold in the Italian version of Rossini's opera Guillaume Tell. Today, this opera is performed more often in its original French language. I nonetheless decided to let you listen to it in Italian because the Italian words require the singer to use a more direct and forceful approach in singing them. After all, Italian has to be sung in the demonstrative Italian way. The direct and forceful approach makes things more straightforward. To relate this to the concept of vocal horsepower with the help of the weight categories I introduced earlier. Arnold, the role we heard earlier, is a heroic tenor role. Doesn't the tenor's voice have a certain amount of penetrating power? Did you feel that his singing is biting into you a little? Did you also feel a slight ring in your ears when he produced the high notes? A dramatic tenor who has a weightier voice will be able to produce a high note that leaves a ring which lingers in the ears for a longer period of time and sinks itself deeper. Unfortunately, because a weightier voice imposes a heavier load on the vocal cords, the dramatic tenor can't send his high note up into the atmosphere as far as we heard the heroic tenor did. The heroic tenor was an intermediate stage in the evolution of the barytenor into the dramatic tenor. The barytenor was a type of tenor specializing in vocal gymnastics which I'll talk about in greater detail another time. If you had fun watching this video, please help me like it. If you'd like to continue chasing this series, please subscribe to my channel. If you wish to express your views about it or discuss it further, please feel free to leave a comment. Thank you and stay tuned.